And that leads us to Gloria. Is your storm rage
okay. Yeah, unfortunately it does, and it kind of also hits Umbra as well.
That's fine.
It's okay. I deserve it.
Good afternoon, and welcome to our one-shot in the Cutlass Tavern, where we begin in the Cutlass Tavern. We resume with Umbra Tinkle Sparks' party. If you just briefly give me an introduction to your characters, starting with Umbra herself, please.
Can you start with someone else first?
Yep, sure. Starting with Chloe Grace.
One of those vocal cords.
Hello, my name's Chloe Grace. I'm a sweet little old southern belle, and if I don't like you, I just might kill you.
Beautiful. And Elrond.
My character's name is Elrond. Elrond is a slightly aged and extremely experienced wizard of quite some power and caliber.
And Gloria?
Gloria is a air genasi that is one with the elements and the weather, and does the good for all people.
Okay, and Umbra.
Hi, I'm Umbra. I'm a tiefling cleric from the Church of Pharasma, and I love to give out pamphlets for my goddess.
Beautiful. It is fair to say this comprises the majority of the party of Umbra Tinkle Sparks, but not necessarily the whole. Within the Cutlass Tavern is a board listing bounties. On this, you get a certain amount of points for different ears. For example, 10 points for a giant's ear, 5 points for a orc ear, 1 point for a goblin ear, etc. And at the very top of
100
this,
points for a snake's ear.
and at the very top of this bounty board is Umbra Tinkle Sparks' party, as they have been for a long, long time. Umbra and her party are returning to the tavern. As they enter in, they hear a violent and loud argument between a dwarf and a human. The dwarf is currently shouting, "It's people like that who should be helping out at the war. They should be helping at the war front. You would really think that by now we would have sent some support from Luskan to the war front. Have you any idea how much pressure Brunor's dwarves are under?" And the human is arguing that Luskan needs to have its own defenses. Vala's army are not that far away. They've been encamped in the Neverwinter Wood. We have no idea when and they might come out and seek further defense, further offense, and the host tower of the Arcane is not enough defense on its own. So you're hearing this argument as it's going on, and basically the gist of the argument is that the dwarf wants Luskan to send aid to the war front of between Obold and Mithril Hall, and the human would like the town of Luskan to hold strong for itself. Just bear with me 2 seconds.
Ah.
Interesting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to set something. So as you enter in, Aram Guardpeck, the bartender, greets you by name. Umbra, Chloe, Gloria, Elrond, come forth. Did you bring any ears today?
Any what, mister?
Ears.
Did we?
No, I don't think we have any ears today.
Where have you been adventuring?
Any
Up down the
what,
street,
mister?
but I came back here because you guys always got the best happy hour. Any ears today?
This is true. In which note, can I get you a drink?
Oh yeah, I'll take my usual. Little mead, little firewater.
Umbra's busy running
Straight
around
up.
giving everyone pamphlets.
Oh, she is. Anybody who has not already been pamphleted has...
Pamphleted to oblivion, Umbra, yeah.
I set my
and-
pamphlet down and use it as a coaster.
Oh no.
Disrespect.
Listen, I got like 32 of these things. One's allowed to take a little hit for the team.
Okay, yeah. Bye.
For anyone that's watching, if you want to refresh, you will now have the overlay that gives the HPs and character sheets of actual players as opposed to some people from yesterday. Apologies for that. So as you're sitting down having your drink, you're approached by a very angry-looking dwarf from the Mirabaran section. And he comes straight up to Elrond. And he says, "And what are you doing for the war?"
I didn't think the war was my responsibility.
Powerful adventurers like yourself just making money off, clearing up, and don't get me wrong, clearing up some monsters here and there and, making the world a better place. Sure, all of that. But realistically, you could be investigating what's going on in the Neverwinter Wood. You could be defending the poor dwarves.
Can you give me a moment here, my dear sir? One second.
Why one moment? What do you need?
Do you see who I am? I'm an old man at this point, sir. Wars, battles, they're extremely taxing on people of our age at this point. Well, not every day, no, not every day. We only very rarely do so, only in the most dire of situations, and it's extremely taxing. We're aged.
He looks to Chloe and goes, "She's not old."
Okay, some people might not be old, but for people such as myself, I'm pushing close to retirement age, my fellow. Like, that's what completely retiring to my tower and working on transcribing the last of my spells before I pop my clogs off this mortal realm. Wars for someone like me. Would you really?
You'll take on giants, elves, orcs, dwarves, but you won't.
Only. Well,
for the money. Only for the money is what you're telling me.
No, not necessarily. In some cases, dragons, and that's only for the fact that, who else can?
And what about you, pamphlet girl?
Me?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
No one talks to me often besides my party.
What are you doing for the efforts in the war? What are you doing to stop Vala? What are you, with all of your power, what are you doing except making money?
Absolutely nothing.
And why?
Because why would I? No one's asked me to do anything.
Wow. It's people like you. Why do we need to ask? You can see what's going on around you. Gloria, go on.
Sir. I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions on him.
Let me make a... Is that Dex or Constitution?
17 Charisma.
Charisma? Oh, Jesus.
Ooh.
That's a 3.
That's a spicy save.
Fucking fail. Now I'm gonna need you to calm down.
Okay.
Fuck off.
All I'm saying is that it would be great if adventurers with such power as yourself were to aid in some of the more larger things going on in this current world.
We're adventurers, not soldiers.
And there's the shame, and he wanders off, and he turns to the bartender. "I'll have another mead." And he grabs his drink, and he's necking it in the corner. At this point, there's a kerfuffle going on in the corner.
Kerfuffle, that's a great word.
Yeah, the large, oversized human tree breaker is currently with his cronies, as per usual, bullying one of the newer members of the tavern. He's pushing around Barbarian, sort of shoving him up against the wall. And the Barbarian is holding his arms up like this, saying, "I want no fight, sir. I want no fight. I came only for aid for my people."
Why didn't you just ask that?
And he saunters over the Barbarian, trying to sort of shrugging off the blows of the humongous tree breaker. And he sort of puts his hands down heavily on your table. Says, "You the bounty people, you Umbra?"
Yes. Who's asking?
My name is Wolfgar.
You need a pamphlet?
My name is Wolfgar, son of Bjornagar. I have travelled from my adopted father's home, Brunel Battlehammer. We are hard-pressed at the wall in Mithril Hall, but that is not our primary concern right now. Our primary concern is that behind the army of the orcs, we believe that Vala is moving vast numbers of troops, and we do not have the manpower to investigate. We fear that at any moment an attack could happen elsewhere, and we have no eyes on what is going on in the land. We ask only for some strong and independent individuals to do maybe some scouting.
I'm neither of those, so maybe ask someone else.
How close are they to me?
He's got his fist on the table, sort of half.
Okay, so we're all together at the table?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what type of scouting? Where do you need scoped out, my friend? I might be able to help you for a price.
There's so much movement in the Lurkwood. I am in some ways the son of a king, and in some ways I carry very, very little in the way of material wealth. As you may know, Brunar's money goes towards the war efforts more and more. We have a small amount of gold that we could share, but we're looking for somebody to do this out of the goodness of their heart, really. To see whether the movements in the Lurkwood are where they're going, you know, for any day today. There could be an attack on your own town. You know, I understand this is your regular tavern. Imagine if tomorrow it was burnt down and everybody you knew lay dead at the ground, because that is what we're facing right now.
Looks like I'd be moving to a new regular tavern.
What? No! I don't want all my friends to die! I finally made friends in this life! I don't want them all to die!
I roll my eyes.
Gloria, you were going to say?
Excuse me, sir. And then she uses her staff to point at the list of bounties.
Yep.
And we do good, but we don't do it without a price.
No one does these days. No one does.
And then like not slams, but like taps the bottom of her staff like on the wood, like bits of electricity comes out.
He sort of turns one shoulder away and he looks over to the Mirror Baron dwarf who you had previously been arguing with. So I see what you mean. Material wealth is all that matters to these people. You know, we've got one that says he's on the verge of dying. We've got one that just wants to make friends. One that'll only do it for the gold, and one that thinks that killing a few orcs here and there. Have you heard of the great Dristo Erden? Have you heard of Companions of the Hall? The number of orcs, the number of giants we've slain. We don't bring ears to the tavern. We make sure the world's a better place.
Sir, please. Making the world a better place isn't free. If we do not get some kind of reward, how do we eat? How do we replenish our supplies? We do good things, but not for free.
He turns to the bartender and he says, would you ever charge the Companions of the Hall for a drink? Would you ever charge the mages of the host tower who are holding down the fort in the most dark and scary of places? Would you? And Aram sort of shakes his head and says, as you know, those who are keeping Luskan healthy drink for free in this tavern. But so do these guys. And he gestures towards Umbra and her crew. And he says, you know, they drink for free because every day they're out clearing monsters. It's not all, you know, it's not all the war effort.
Yes, we clear monsters, and apparently that's not good enough.
You know, it's not that long ago since the mayor sent out the bounty reward to deal with the dragon that was coming down from the mountain and, you know, creating havoc. And who but these wonderful people went and saved us from such cataclysmic events.
The thing is about these events, my fellow, is when it comes to these sorts of encounters with things of this much threat and danger, are you aware of how much expense and preparation has to go into just a single fight of this caliber? Just in terms of the potions and the spells that we require just to survive these things, they can run into the costs of thousands of gold. So, in terms of expense, there's a reason why people of our caliber end up being compensated so greatly. It's also because our expenses in just doing what we have to do run so great. So to do so for free, we would be bankrupt in a week.
I'm not asking you to fight for free.
Do you honestly
fight where it
that
matters?
Do you believe that a dragon is slain so easily and so quickly? Do you believe an army is so defeated so easily, so quickly? No.
No, if an army was defeated so easily and so quickly, we'd already have, you know, Bruno marching to Luskan from Mithril Hall. We wouldn't have the orcs encamped in their dark and dingy holes right outside our door. We wouldn't have Vala wandering troops here, there, and everywhere. We wouldn't have the Neverwinter Wood inaccessible to all of the public. Of course not. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it should be free, but I'm saying do it where it matters. You know, where were you adventuring last week?
I understand your concerns as well, but there's another issue as well. If everyone of renown and power is just immediately sent to one place to do battle, what happens when the enemy opens the gate right on top of your doorstep? whilst everyone's away doing what they do, they know that all the people of power and renown are off fighting this great battle somewhere. They could just open a gate right on someone's doorstep, and
so you're saying as long as the war conveniently comes to the town that you're in, you'll fight?
Not necessarily, no. What it means is that when it comes to the strategy of any of these sorts of things, my friend, nobody deploys all of their resources instantly at the first instant. There's a time, and a time will come to be when certain people will be deployed. But for everyone to go at once is folly, my friend. That is the sort of thing that comes with doing things as long as we have.
You speak logic until the cows come home, damn wizards. And as he
you would expect nothing less from us, my friend. You would expect nothing less.
Whilst this war is raging and Lichkins are taking over, what are you doing? You are here berating people. Couldn't the war use another man, another sword?
I have been on the wall of Mithril Hall for 7.5 months. I have come seeking aid because nobody else who's come seeking aid has achieved anything. And what have we achieved? We do have a dispatchment from the host tower of the Arcane. We do have a dispatch of Mirabaran dwarves willing to come to our cause and help. I have achieved this already, and I come asking for the adventurers of the land to free Mithril Hall from the troubles it's going through so that they can join in the fight against Vala and this dark, encroaching, awful, creation that he's making of the Sword Coast. He's turning it into his playground, and we want to fight back, but we're pinned in our holes. You know, this is why I'm here. And
so your plan to get people to help is to berate them and make them not like you.
Well, we've tried putting out requests on the, on the boards in Luskan. We've tried putting out simple pleas. We've sent countless letters to the host tower of Arcane, and Grumfenrir has ignored us completely. It wasn't until I turned up myself and banged on his damn door that we've got, 3 wizards. That's what they were prepared to spare us. 3 wizards.
I do not know what you ask for.
Then you come and attack us for no reason? We don't even know you.
Do you not see other people on that list?
Yes, and we have requested of every adventurer we see. And at this point, he turns to sort of storm away, and this tree breaker giant human character is sort of getting in his way and shoving him about. He's still being harassed by this large human. And Wolfgar turns to this tree breaker character and he says, "You have one last chance, ridiculous human, or I will throw you out of the tavern." And
be nice to him.
The large tree breaker laughs and swings a punch at Wolfgar's face. But Wolfgar catches his hand and twists it and twists it and twists it, and you hear a cracking sound of bones. He slams Treebreaker's forehead down into your table, and he says, "Do I look like I'm asking for help because I cannot defend myself? I'm asking for help because we have nothing else we can do." 180,000 orcs lie encamped on the walls of Mithril Hall. Human fighters are not clearing anything. We need powerful spells of sorcery to blast thousands of orcus at a time. Orcuses? Wow, that's a wonderful word. Thousands of orcs at a time. Not one simple warrior.
Well, what I will say is you certainly know how to make both a convincing argument and a rather impressive display.
Oh, he still sounds
you
like a dick.
You have my ear.
Oh, he's definitely a dick.
At this point, a really fat dwarf with a pair of morning stars on his back comes sauntering over. He goes, "Our Wolfgar." I'm going to leave the accent there because I cannot continue in that accent.
He's a Viking.
Yeah, he should be Scottish, but Scottish is beyond my realms. He says, "Oh, Wolfgar, you're arguing again and again." Wolfgar, sorry. Arguing again and again for the same things. How many men have we sent you? How many men have left their homes in Luskan to come to your help at the war, only to leave their wives as widows, their children as orphans? There is only so much we can do. It's about time Mithril Hall closed its damn doors and seeked another way out. And he turns to you adventurers and he says, My problem with you guys is something completely different. And I know everybody's come over here and is attacking you and I think it's kind of unnecessary. Good adventurers like yourselves are just looking for a drink as they come in from the road. But at least spend your money in the town that looks after you. I look at your wondrous robe, young lady, and he points to Umbra. I look at your, fabulous weapons. And every week you're drinking here in Luskan. You bought that here?
I bought this robe here.
Do you think these items come for free?
No, I don't. I know they don't come for free, but what I don't see is you spending money in the stores here. I see you coming with these wonderful weapons every time you go out adventuring. Spread the wealth.
Look, sir, if I may.
You may.
The weapons themselves come from means which are far beyond what even the greatest of artisans in this town can provide. These weapons are of legendary status. What I can tell you, the supplies that we use for our battles, which I will say do not run cheap. The supplies come locally and home sourced. So yes, we do spend our money, our supplies. That in itself costs more than
you say this, but do you even know who I am?
In a week in drinks.
Do you even know who I am?
No.
Wizard.
I cannot say that I do know who you are.
So you're not a proprietor of the damn stores of Luskan. You walk out this door, you take 2 steps to the left, and you'll find Fire and Steel. And where is that? That's Olgren's shop. Who's Olgren? I'm Olgren. I have never seen you people.
And so because we do not shop at your store, sir, that means that we do not shop at others?
Well, no,
do you watch us every day, of every hour?
There's no other weapons for sale in damn Luskan.
Do we look like we need weapons?
No, because you spent your money elsewhere.
Olgren, my sir.
Yes.
Are you able to produce and sell weapons with the single most powerful magic enchantments that have ever been created?
I look like a flippin' magician.
Many races.
I don't pull rabbits out of hats. I forge weapons.
Every single weapon, every single armor piece has the most meticulous of enchantments and magical abilities woven into their very fabric.
Ah, Tosh. He turns to Chloe, and he sort of gestures at her quiver on her back. And says, and what, are you firing pure magic arrows? Or are they standard wood and steel like every other fucking arrow?
Well, actually, they are +3 arrows.
Does that even exist?
Yeah.
Sick.
Oh my god.
We have arrows of mild enchantments, And you're telling me you waste those beautiful arrows of epic magic on basic orcs?
No, not on basic.
Do you
orcs,
fire a bow? Am I talking to you?
These things are spent on things like dragons, my friend. We spend tens of thousands of gold on potions.
I'm not asking you to come and spend gold on magic items for dragons. I'm speaking of this young southern belle here, asking if she fires arrows at, things that aren't great magical enemies. Are you telling me you fire your special magical arrows at little goblins? You don't need some standard wooden arrows?
Confused as though why we're being harassed for what we deem worth paying for. Like, why are we being attacked for not buying things we don't need?
Maybe.
Yeah, lad, apparently it was my friend that had those +3 arrows. These are regular arrows.
we are also usually the sort of people that don't get sent for just regular orcs and goblins.
That's exactly how you make your living. Look at the board. Giant ears, orc ears, goblin ears, bandit ears. That's how you're making your living.
Yes, we kill them on the way to and from important tasks. We do not seek these.
Oh, how the mighty
monsters.
Live.
And for someone who started this conversation saying, I know everyone's come over to this table to you people attacking you.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd throw me over.
Why have you joined in? And as she's saying this, a breeze starts flowing in the tunnel.
No.
Okay, at this point, he's backtracking real fast. He's going, look, I'm sorry, it's been a bad day for business. I didn't mean to upset you. I understand that, you're great and powerful adventurers. I just, I wish, it feels like sometimes you treat this as a stopping place. I wish maybe you treat it like a home.
Look, sir.
It is what it is, and he backtracks and keeps shuffling backwards as the wind is gusting him.
We unfortunately just do not require your services specifically. We do it at many other stores, but unfortunately, you do not provide the services that we need.
At this point,
For other adventurers who do battle, yes.
At this point,
Not you, I'm sorry.
an elven mage standing sort of at the edge of the tavern turns around and she says, it's true, they shop at my store. This is Alanaria. Who,
Good evening.
Maybe you should look at the type of warriors they are. It's magic with those guys, and God only knows what she does. And he points to Umbra, but I don't think she's wearing armor.
Pretty colors.
Oh, Alanaria, and I run up and I give her a great big hug.
She's tussles your hair and leans
vodka
over
rope
to
for
Aram
her?
and hands you a drink. No, that would be from the clothing store. She sells spells.
Okay.
Primarily to Elrond, but yes, scrolls and various other spells. But you would all know her fairly well. At this point, as you look up, Treebreaker and Wolfgar are having a sort of not so friendly arm wrestling contest in the corner.
Oh dear, that looks
His
like
fucking arm broke off.
The other arm, of course. And they
Also broken off. Got it.
and a small group of halflings are having a vicious argument at the gambling table. Dice are being thrown, gold is flinging from corner to corner. The tavern's really quite rowdy tonight. And the door bursts open, and a man wearing a full suit of plate mail armor sort of stumbles in and lifts his helm, and he sort of opens his mouth, and what comes out is not a word, but a sort of a roar, if you like. Imagine the loudest of lions roaring from his from sort of the very back of his throat, and then he clears his throat. Excuse me, I apologize for that. The tavern falls silent. I bring news. Neverwinter has fallen.
What?
No.
What?
Vala cut us off from the south, Vala cut us off from the west, Vala cut us off from the north, and then the walls were raised throughout the night. Magic of the darkest and most vile was rained upon us all the morning, and we a small band of refugees escaped this morning. I come today seeking aid.
What of the rest of the survivors?
All I have is Lord Neverember himself, and his general and his mayor and maybe 20 townspeople. That is all we've managed to sneak out through the back gate. Other than that, Neverwinter is nothing but rubble.
Right, I believe I've found something that I need to do then. Lord Never...
Daggold Neverember.
What was his name again? You told me.
Daggold Neverember.
Neverember.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, take me to Lord Neverember.
It's not as simple as that,
what
sir.
I can do.
It's a run. It's got to be a run. I'm leaving now. We have a couple of the guards coming with us. They're pinned in the Neverwinter Wood by the vilest of undead armies. Will you come?
Oh,
You say run, my sir. 1 second.
Old
about a gentle
man
walk?
Elrond was hoping for a gentle saunter. He turns to Umbra, and he holds out a pamphlet that you recognize, obviously, having handed it to many a person. He
hey,
says,
I know that.
I would like to okay, so you say you want to say that, and you want to run, yes? How about I can do us one better? How about, as long as I know exactly where this place is, how about I try to get us there immediately?
I can get us close.
All of us.
I can get us close. You wouldn't know. I can't tell you the exact location, and the last thing we want is to appear in the wrong person's army. But just at the entrance to the Neverwinter Wood, we're not far from there. It will be maybe a 10-minute walk from there.
I could teleport us all to a location near to Neverwinter Wood, pretty much immediately. I just need a rough location along the road. I've travelled the road before. I am familiar with it. I should be able to get us to somewhere very close.
I can show you on a map if you would like.
That sounds very ideal. I can
throws a map on the table. As you look out of Luskan, there is the Neverwinter Woods, and sort of there is a tucked-in area, sort of at the entrance to Gauntlgrim. You'd know where this area is that he's gesturing towards on the map.
So Gauntlgrim, is this an area that you believe is safe for us to teleport to?
100%. This is.
I can take us to there, and I'm very familiar with
the area.
You
won't be teleporting to Gauntlgrim. You'll be teleporting to the entrance, sort of the long pathway entrance where the two bits of wood separate in a V shape.
Yeah, okay. I would know that particular landmark as well. Would be quite familiar with that.
And you'll come, fair adventurers? You go.
This is as honestly as about as worthy of a cause, and normally I would not be keen to do something on this sort of level or caliber, but in a situation as dire as this,
you speak for your friends.
I feel committed. So, my friends, will you join me?
Gloria.
I'll run and just nod.
Gloria.
Of course.
Gloria stands up and says, "We must."
Okay. How long does it take you to prepare the spell, Elrond?
I can go as soon as you desire.
Okay.
Umbra, are you prepared?
Aaron wishes you luck from behind the bar.
Actually, hold on.
Alaria scurries up to you, Elrond, and she hands you a scroll before you
yes.
And,
is this a teleportation?
No.
What is this scroll that you give me?
It is a scroll of invisibility.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Just in case, she whispers in your ear.
Yes?
Yeah, if you are ready to portal, then portal we shall.
Before we go,
Yep.
I'd like to walk up to the guy who's being a dick butt to us.
Which one of them?
The
dwarf, the shopkeeper, or the barbarian?
The dwarf. No, the barbarian.
The barbarian, okay. Wolfgar, yep.
Wolfgar. See, look, she asked us nicely, and we're going to help them. You should work on how you talk to people. And then I'm going to slap a pamphlet in his face and walk back to my friends.
Aye, 'tis fair. Okay.
I would like to.
Umbra, I only wish you had as much patience as you have charisma, my friend.
No patience.
I wish you had that kind of patience. You're wonderful, but you are so full on. I love you dearly, but
That's the only thing I've ever learned.
That's the
I'm sorry.
before. There we go. Sorry,
I would like to.
Okay, so who's it coming with me? Our party and who else?
Jamal.
Yes?
Chloe, you were saying?
I would like to sneak under the table, and I would like to tie Treebreaker's shoes together.
Oh, beautiful. Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh, I love it.
35.
What?
Wow.
Sorry, who?
30?
You tie Treebreaker's shoes together in the most intricate of knots, and then you sort of wind round the strings to draw a picture of your own face with his shoelaces. You take 16 gold out of his trousers, pull his trousers halfway down, slice his underwear open, button up the whole of his shirt, steal half of his drink, and then slip out. 35 for sleight of hand? Like, what is that?
Oh my god.
So, Jamal,
Plus 16, my dude.
do you see where this area of where this area
the
of water
exact
is
location.
leading
Yep,
into the that is where you would be.
I would be familiar with that. Who's coming with me? Our party and the one person that asked us for help?
Yes, the very, very run-down guard who looks like he may not be able to stand for much longer.
I can offer my assistance to bring another 4 people if they so wish.
Would you like to open that to the tavern?
Okay, yeah. In that case, I would like to ask. I would like to ask the people within the tavern. Does anyone wish to come and provide efforts to free Neverwinter from the grasp of evil?
I'll come. That's the dwarf, the Mirrorborn dwarf that was first having a go at you. And his friend, who is missing an eye, has a humongous scar down the side of his face. He has sort of limp bits of grey hair coming out. His beard is full of grey, but has a large gap missing. He looks like he might have been killed at least 3 times in the past. He sort of saunters up with his Mirrorborn dwarf friend. The barbarian stands up at Bulfgar and says, "Aye, this fight is a good cause. I'll come if you will have me, wizard. Despite my
Absolutely,
earlier
by all
words."
means. I will take everyone that will be willing to lend their arms for this.
And a very slight elf from the edge of the bar strides up and puts her hand gently on the back of your elbow and says, "If you'll have me."
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
That makes the 4 that you can carry.
Yep, so that is 8 and myself. So, are we prepared for the spell?
Has everybody been pamphleted, Umbra?
Yes.
Marvelous.
We're going on an adventure together.
Okay. It is time for the D100 Boogaloo.
D100
Let us see.
Boogaloo?
The result is a 64. The teleportation is perfectly successful.
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah.
What was the chance that we went somewhere random?
On target for somewhere that I'm very familiar with is on a roll of 25 to 100. On a 14 to 24, I'm off target. 6 to 13 is a similar area. And 1 to 5 is a mishap, my friend.
Oh dear.
We could have
We
landed
could have had a
in the
mishap? That would have been brilliant.
Yes.
We could have been swimming in the ocean.
A 5% chance for mishap, yes, on a very familiar location.
What was the spell, do you know?
The spell is called Teleport, 7th level conjuration. Instantly transports you and up to 8 willing creatures of your choice that you can see within range, or a single object that you can see within range, to a destination you select.
Oh, you and 8, right? So 1, 2, 3.
Yes, up to 8, so that's 8 of us.
Well, there's 9 of you that you've just tried to teleport.
Myself and 8 others.
Right, yourself and 8 others. Okay. So
Yes.
as you arrive spectacularly bang on point at the entrance to the Neverwinter Wood, the haggard-looking man sort of pulls off his plate mail helmet, and he says, "I can go no further." As you head straight into the woods, just keep going as if you're running to Luskan. You will pass them on the way.
Keep running as if you were to Laskin, we'll pass them on the way.
Yeah. So there is a path that leads through the edge of the woods, as you can see. That is the path you would be taking.
Yep.
I am
Okay.
going to enter stealth and go leagues ahead of my party and
Okay.
keep a
What
lookout
sort
for
of walking
everything
speed
along
do
the
you
way. 35.
Okay, cool.
Can I take 1 second before you leave? I may have something that will make things a little bit easier.
Tell me this is pass without trace.
If you would like it,
I can cast Telepathic Bond as a ritual, which is a quick act, which is an action and a 10-minute cast, and we can all communicate within our mind over theoretically any distance for a full hour. So if you scout ahead, you can inform us all.
The battle-scarred looking dwarf saunters up to you and says, "If you're going ahead, lass, you might want one of these." And he waves his hands in a sort of motion and then raises his holy symbol up, giving you long strider. And the young elf sidles up to you and says, "Would you mind if I come with you?"
If you can keep up, sweetie.
It's maybe the other way around. And she sort of raises her cloak and fades into the shadows ahead of you. Chloe, you'd be able to keep an eye on her, but everybody else would be would no longer be able to see her.
Well, I guess she doesn't want to talk to us.
She's a quiet type.
Okay, so I'm going to cast that ritual for telepathic bonds then.
Yep.
Because it's a ritual, it doesn't take a spell slot. I can just cast it with the time required to cast it, so I shall do so, and we can communicate freely, mentally, for an hour.
Okay, Chloe, as you enter the forest, you would smell burning immediately. You would almost be able to see through the trees towards a patch of burnt ground. And you may see some forms moving through the woods.
What kind of forms?
Humanoid in size. That is about all you'd be able to see from this in size and shape. That's all you'd be able to see from this distance.
I will get as close to them as I can without noticing or them noticing me with my 35 stealth?
You can probably stand on their forehead. They are fairly unthinking beasts, as they are not alive. What you have come across is the edges of the undead army pursuing.
Guys, I found some of the undead army. They're up here, I think.
Shall we? Do you reckon we should fight them, or should we just
this is
track
fairly
down the
weak,
people we're
this is
looking
fairly
for
weak
first?
looking. Your average sort of skeletons, maybe a couple of even formless sort of mounds of flesh are crawling along, and you know they're very clearly very unthinking beasts.
These are moving, fightable.
Very much so.
Yeah, I'd say we can kill him, and I pull out my longbow and I shoot one.
Okay. Just roll to hit.
Oh,
before anything else.
it's going to hit, and
Yep.
because it's a surprise round, I get a auto crit.
I think that might be fairly irrelevant. Do you manage 7 damage?
Yeah, I literally can't roll less than 7 damage.
I figured. The first skeleton just crumples to the ground. The young elf who was near invisible next to you fires a bow in similar fashion and takes out one of the smaller skeletons.
No, I was shooting at whatever the biggest thing that I could see.
Okay, fine. I mean, you could take out one of these shambling mounds. They're all fairly weak. It's a group of 6 undead that were broken off from the pack.
How close are we to this engagement at this moment in time?
80 foot through the forest.
Okay, in that case, I would also like to join in throwing some cantrips, some fire. Let's go for an acid splash on some of these things and see if I can hit more than one. If they're
You're going
within
to be
5
trying
feet
to
of each
fire
other.
through the trees.
Well, I could run forward to 60 foot and then fire an acid splash in a line towards an area, and then
Okay.
it's just a 5 foot radius around that.
Yep. In that case, can you guys roll initiative, please?
Oh boy!
Oh.
That'd be a solid 18.
Sorry.
I rolled a 20, so I got a 23.
Sorry.
Very
Guys,
nice.
just hold your numbers in your head for a second. For some reason, that is completely closed the window because I killed
Oh, yeah.
one skeleton off before rolling initiative. Umbra, you said?
I got a 23.
Yep. Gloria.
22.
And Elrond.
18.
18. Just for curiosity's sake, Chloe. 30.
30.
3.
Wow.
3, 0,
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Well, that's
I
good.
rolled
'cause
a
you've already
20.
taken your turn.
How do you get
surprised on
such
that,
high initiative?
He's a scout.
I'm a dex character.
Dex Scout specifically, so you get
I think
all that
it's a scout,
initiative
is it?
bonus. Oh, yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
okay. My initiative's only a +4, and that's
you
on
a
a,
scout or
on
a
a
ranger,
natural
Chloe?
19 dex.
Chloe,
I'm a rogue.
You're a rogue, yeah, scout. Okay, cool. Oh, you're an
Yeah,
assassin.
Rogue Scout, yeah.
Or you're an assassin.
No, I'm a rogue assassin, my dude.
Okay, just with a bow.
Oh,
Got
that's
it.
great.
Okay, so Umbra, that would lead to you first. You are sort of 80 foot through trees, away from this small group of monsters. Umbra,
I'm sorry, say that
so
again?
you're about 80 foot away from a small group of undead through some trees.
I'm gonna take a dash action towards them.
Okay, dash away.
60 feet towards them.
Okay, can you do anything from 20 foot distance? Or is the action your dash?
could-
Right, okay,
We're
yeah.
took a
skipping my
dash
turn in
action.
proper initiative.
Wait, yeah. What?
Yeah, this is still the
He is
surprise
30.
round. I just wanted to know.
Oh.
So he took his shots. I just wanted to know who else is surprising in what manner. So that would lead us to Gloria. Again, 80 foot away through some trees.
I would like to get closer.
Your movement speed?
My movement speed's 30.
Okay, you are now 50 foot away.
Okay, great. And I'd like to cast Levitate.
Okay, levitate up. Give us a
And
height
can I-
idea. Give us a height.
Well, just so I can see above the trees and see the enemies.
You wouldn't be able to levitate above the trees. That is sort of 60 to 80 foot. This is a wood of sheer redwoods. You know, it's huge. But
So 20 foot.
you'd be able to
upwards,
be able to levitate well above the sort of shrubs. You'd get a decent sight on them through the few trees that are standing that tall.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I stand by my decision.
Okay, yeah. And Elrond.
Okay. I can. Well, I've got 30 foot of standard movement, so I would like to move to a position where I have a little bit better line of sight, where I can see at least one target.
You would be able to. How far can you move?
Full 30.
Okay, so if you are now 50 foot away, you'd be able to see. You wouldn't be able to define their facial features, but you'd be able to see the group.
Are there any that are clumped up close enough within like roughly 5 feet
they are
of each
all
other?
within sort of. Okay, they're within. Each one is within 4 to 5 foot of the next one.
Okay. Can I hit more than 2 with a single spell at 5 foot range?
Why not? Probably 3.
Okay, I'm gonna cast it on the clump so I can hit 3, and I will cast my acid splash cantrip, which is a dex saving throw of 19, or take 4d6 acid damage.
Roll for damage.
And the damage be a solid 8.
Okay. One skeleton has fallen over to that, sadly. And 2 skeletons look vaguely injured and are writhing in the acidy ball upon them. At this point, a very swift-moving undead creature, sort of half shadows and half body, sort of rolls into the front. You are now confronted by a small group of slightly stronger-looking undead shambling in from the back, and one humongous looking skeleton. Where the fucking Jesus is my camera gone, by the way? There we go. One humongous looking sort of ogreish zombie is stood at the back.
My friends, my recommendation to you all, try not to be too close to these things.
Okay. And then combat will begin if we come to Chloe. You see 6 standard undead-looking creatures and a oversized undead-looking creature.
Yeah, I'm shooting at the biggest motherfucker in there.
That is the huge guy at the back, yep.
That's a, like 29 to hit? No. Yeah, 29 to hit.
That's hitting.
And that's going to be fucking, I'm just clicking this.
Are you sneak attacking from the shadows, yes?
Oh, I'm sneak attacking, I'm sharpshootering.
Yep.
So that's 11 plus 36 is 47, 57 damage.
He looks hurt.
And then I will use my bonus action to hide and move a little bit along the tree line just so he doesn't know where the hell I am.
At this point, the elven lass next to you sort of yanks forth what appears to be a bolt of lightning and fires it at the same zombie, dealing 31 damage. And the 2 dwarves, one is charging forth into the battle, is now sort of 50 foot range. The barbarian is taking humongous strides with his warhammer in hand, and is now sort of 30 foot away. The final dwarf looks over at Umbra Tinklesparks and casts Bless.
Ooh, you can do that too. Thank you.
Oh shit, you're a cleric, aren't you? I keep thinking you're a bard. Okay, whatever, you can bless someone else. For some reason in my head you were a bard, because Luna thinks that brings us to Umbra.
Is it my turn now?
It is your turn.
Can I get within 30 feet of every zombie? Or undead, whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I'd like to get it within 30 feet of every zombie. Then I'm going to cast Turn Undead.
Okay, so
I'm Channel Divinity and cast Turn Undead.
You are now here. So number 2, it would be Dan, and you are hiding off in the corner. Gloria, you got as close as you could and are levitating, so you are further back. And the same with Elrond. Okay. What's the save?
DC 17 Wisdom.
Allow me to roll that for 5 different characters. That is a fail. That is a hard... Whoa!
That was a weird reaction.
What have I clicked?
You okay over there?
That is a pass. What happens if they fail to check?
Anything
Die.
that's challenge rating 4 or below is dead when they fail. I kill everything challenge rating 4 and below that fails.
Okay, the zombie on the far left it crumbles to dust.
James is like, well, there goes that fight.
There's no fucking way you rolled so good that every other zombie passes the shit.
It was more the challenge rating that was the problem for you.
Oh, okay. Well, they all turn around and flee then for a minute.
Okay.
If they're not dead.
Oh, right, so if they're challenge rating 5 or above, they flee?
Yes. There's still shit that happens to them.
Okay, let me just roll on this one. That's a solid 6. Number 2 has bucketed off into the distance. That is number 5 is dead.
It's broken if they take damage, but they must spend their turn until then running away from me.
Okay, so one zombie has fled into the background. 2 slighter looking undead creatures, one with a face of pure black, and one who appears to be a somewhat malformed vampire, stand in front of you, and the large ogre-sized zombie at the back is shrugs it off and stares at you with anger. Does that conclude your turn?
Hold on. I think I have something else I can do.
No smiley faces for us today. Bonus action, hand out pamphlet to zombie.
Is this a bonus action? Or is this an action? Oh, okay. And then I'm going to bonus action.
Yep.
Put a... What level do I want? I'm going to put a 4th level spiritual weapon next to the big boy.
Okay. Cool.
That is it.
The wraith-like creature on the left-hand side at the front here, with a face of black, strides forwards towards you. It appears to be moving through the ground as opposed to along the ground.
Oh shit! I get to attack it too. I didn't know I get to attack on the first turn.
He takes he stares at you and he raises a hand and he sort of claws at you. He didn't move. Why didn't he move? Let's try that again. He claws at you, Umbra. That is a 19 to hit.
Nope, does not hit. Also, can I slap the guy that I put the weapon next to?
Yeah, why not?
A 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Did not realize I get to attack first turn. Oh, he takes a nice 18 damage.
Okay, that's he's not chirpy about that.
It's like that is almost max damage I could hit him with.
And that brings us to
I rolled an 8.
That brings us to Gloria.
Okay.
Gloria.
So how far away am I from E3?
From E3, let's say 40 foot.
Oh, great. And how close are E3, E4, and B?
So E4 and E3 are 10 foot away, and 5 foot behind is the...
okay, great.
Moved him up here.
So Gloria says, like arching her hands, and she says, "Elements, hear my call! Smite down these fiends!" And she casts Chain Lightning on E3, and then it arches to E4 and B.
Okay, roll for damage. What's the save?
A Dex 17, so if you fail it, you only take half damage.
No, zombies are not known for their dexterity. That is a 12. Okay. E3 takes half damage, which is what?
Well, 45 in total.
Okay, so that's a 23 damage. The large zombie takes the full 45 and is now looking very upset. The wraith-like creature seems a little less bothered. Perhaps he is not as vulnerable to lightning as the others. Anything else going on with your turn, Gloria? You remaining
Yes.
floating?
Yeah.
Okay,
I am one with the wind.
lovely. Elrond, what do you?
What do I? Very good question. I would like. Hmm. The big thing. You said there was something that looked a little bit like a vampire. Yes.
It looks a lot like a vampire just malformed. That's E3.
A3. How battered and beat up does that thing look so
It's
far?
it's got some. Its hair's on fire. Its shoulder is sort of dislocated. Its hip is looking a bit out of joint. Its knee is standing funny. It is not long for land.
Okay then.
The
In
wraith-like
that
creature in the
case-
front is looking fairly unfazed, and the ogreish zombie at the back is damaged, but still very standing.
Okay, what's the distance? What's the maximum distance between the
You are 50
three?
foot. There is 10 foot between the 4 and 3, and 5 foot between 3 and B.
So no more than 15 foot between E4 and B then.
Indeed.
Okay, I would like to sculpt this spell so that all of our allies within the 20-foot radius have like a notch cut out so the spell does not hit them.
Yep, that's fine.
And I'm going to cast a fireball at 3rd level, aiming to hit everyone in a clump.
Okay.
All enemies in the 20-foot radius of it must make their dex saving throw.
DC?
It's my spell
Doesn't matter.
alright, save is
Doesn't
dex
matter.
19.
Doesn't matter. I've literally rolled 2 1s and a 20. Carry on.
So the one that rolled a 20 would take half for a successful save
Yep.
and full damage for no save.
Yep.
And
So
the
damage
damage 8d6 is 34.
Okay, so the wraith again looks like perhaps elements are not the strongest point on it, and sort of shrugs
Okay.
off your blow completely. The vampire crumbles into a smouldering ball of dust on the floor, and the zombie, the large ogreish zombie, is upset. I think is the best way of putting it. He's clearly upset. He's now got half his arm on fire. And with his sadness and rage, he is going to charge at the only person he can see. And he is going to bash at young Umbra.
Bring it on, big boy.
Sorry, Elrond, just to qualify, was that the end of your turn, yeah?
That's all I can really do at the
Yeah, I
minute.
thought
Everything
so.
else would be reaction only, so yeah.
That is a 26 to hit.
That's unfortunately that misses. No, I'm just kidding. I got
That would be impressive, wouldn't it? That's,
That would be.
so he swings once for 12 damage. And a
That tickles.
23 to hit
Yeah, that hits.
for 8.
That's like 20 damage or 21. You said 12, right? The
Yeah,
first
12
time?
and an 8, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry,
20
I
damage.
totally retarded and forgotten the first number.
Your dwarven comrade raises his holy symbol again and
stupid.
uses Cure Wounds, healing you for... Okay, I didn't even know that was possible. Healing you for 4.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Wimpy.
Oh, I could have casted a high level. I didn't even realize that.
You don't need to heal me. I'll be okay.
The barbarian charges past and unleashes his hammer, screaming "Tempus!" at the fleeing zombie, which lovely. Okay, it thunderously destroys the fleeing zombie. Oops, bye-bye. And the
Nice.
final dwarf who was charging bravely into battle raises his battle axe and far above his head, and with a leap comes down upon the large zombie, and he slams his axe into the floor next to its foot and looks a bit sheepish.
Oops.
The dark wraith at this point will... Oh, how exciting. Touches Umbra If you would make a Constitution save, I believe that is.
I think that's one thing that Umbra can do.
Umbra has a +2 to that. Umbra rolled a 20.
Okay. So you take half damage.
Okay.
That is.
And you crumble to dust.
Can you imagine?
I am above 100 HP. Nope. Fuck him.
That is 5 damage.
Oh, wow. I could have just not given a shit.
Pretty much. But he tried. And
Not
that
trying hard enough.
brings us back to Chloe Grace. Is that correct? Yes.
That would be correct. So I'm gonna shoot that wraith-looking guy now, because he ain't he looks like a dick, and my magic friends ain't doing so much to him apparently.
Can you tell me of the nature of your arrows, my friend?
The bow is magical, which
Yes.
makes which I believe makes the attacks magical. If not, I was supposed to add the
Resistance
magical
to
arrows.
piercing and slashing damage from non-magical attacks that aren't silvered. So that would be a magical attack, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, because
Yep,
it's a
okay,
magical
cool.
bow.
Yeah, cool.
So it's a 23 to hit.
That's hitting.
Okay.
That's the lowest you've rolled in a long time.
Yeah, I know. That's 6 plus 10 is 16. Plus, excuse you, sneak attack. Plus
okay,
38.
He did.
Plus another 10.
Yes, your arrow thunders through the center of his skull, and he vanishes into the ether, leaving
Then I will
Umbra face to face with a big fat.
bonus action hide, and I'm gonna go forwards towards where the fleeing guys were.
Oh no, you're not an enemy. Sorry. What fleeing guys?
You don't know that.
What fleeing guys? Oh, you
Yeah,
mean
you're not.
the general fleeing party, yeah? Not the ones that Umbra made flee that are now dead.
Yeah, the guys that were running away and they were still running.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, I was just qualifying.
I'd say 27 stealth.
Yep, and the elven maiden next to you, or sort of vaguely next to you within these woods, that's a beautiful shot, sister. And she attempts to follow suit, firing an arrow at the zombie ogre-ish thing. Dealing... oh my. Dealing 42 damage.
Ooh.
It was a crit. And that leads us to Gloria. Gloria! So I hear every time I say the word.
How
You're
is
in range.
this? What?
You're in range.
That's not what I'm asking.
Okay, go on.
How beat up does this guy look?
Very.
Very.
Yeah. He ain't got much left.
He ain't got much.
No.
Wait.
Waiting?
What happened to my turn?
Oh shit, were you before?
Yeah. Pretty sure I'm after Dan.
Yeah, you are. You're not wrong. Apologies. Gloria, think carefully of your movements. Umbra.
Well, I just thought of it, but okay.
Umbra, my apologies. Your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna just smack him with my mace.
Sick. Damage to hit.
A 16?
That hits.
Okay. He's going to take... Let's see.
Any
7
useful
for that.
smites in this thing?
Sorry, did you say 7?
Yeah, he's going to take 7 damage from that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Divine Strike him. That's another 1 damage. So he takes a total of 12 damage. Then I'm going to bonus action move my spiritual weapon towards him and smack him with my spiritual weapon too.
Damage or to hit.
I cast it at 4. Well, did I not? Yes, I did. That's a fucking 2, so 11.
That is not hitting. He does have
That's
some armor, I'm afraid. Which leads us to Gloria, who is now looking at an even slightly more beaten up zombie on the floor.
Okay. she raises her hands up and says, nature, hear my plead. Bring down this creature of evil, and cast lightning bolt on it.
Okay, and damage?
That would be 27.
That is enough. Your lightning thunders into him, and he crumbles onto the floor. Let's say that
I come back down from levitating.
Okay. As you are still moving, Chloe, you are able to see a pitched battle in front of you. The guards of Lord Daggold Neverember are in battle with what appears to be a few undead and a sort of 10 or 12 foot above the ground, with her arms spread wide, a sorcerer or wizard of some sort with red hair flying in the wind. Her hair is not only red, it is also fiery. There is flames within her hair. There are flames on her cloak. She appears to almost be a being of fire. Is sort of pinging down balls of flame at them. At this point, you would be 80 foot away. Let's say that you're all vaguely together at this point, apart from...
See, my intent was to make sure I could chase down and shoot down the fleeing guys before they could get to any other like reinforcements or anything, so we would.
Do you mean the fleeing enemies from the turn undead?
Yes.
They were killed.
All of them?
Yeah, there was only 2 fleed. Everything else died. One was warhammered, and the other one died to acid.
No, I thought there were more guys that were just off in the distance and off screen, so we couldn't see them.
So there's over there somewhere is more of a horde, but right now you sort of got 3 undead. Is it 3? 1, 2, 3, 4 undead, and this sorcerer, and she's currently pelting them.
I would like to communicate that information about the Chandra up there.
Yeah.
Shooting people to my friends. Tell them what she's doing, and I'm going to attempt to get I'd like to surprise her and attempt to assassinate her.
Unfortunately, I don't have the spells to bring her to the ground
Would you like to
at this
wait
point.
until your party is somewhat in range, or are you going to just fire straight away?
I'll let them get close to me.
Okay, let's say
I have a 600-foot range I can shoot my bow at.
Well, I know that, but they do not 600 range anything. So let's say that you're all relatively...
That's fine.
Relatively.
My party can walk in front of me if they want.
I would like to get myself as within 60 foot to
this is exactly
get ready to cast some things here.
I just want to be sure that I'm surprise attacking this bitch because it's relevant for assassinate.
If need be, we can all stealth in. I'm stealthy as well. I can join you on that endeavor.
So what you see in front of you is 4 undead, sort of lined up. Let's say that for the sake of argument, you 3 are within 30 foot of range of them. And then floating at the back at sort of 40-foot range is this sorcerer. I've put you to the side. You can be as far away as you would like, Chloe. Are we maintaining the same initiatives? Is that all right?
Okay.
Sure.
It just saves me the effort.
As long as I'm properly surprise rounding. That's all I care about.
Yep, it is your turn, and you are surprising.
I'm going to assume a 27 will hit.
That is hitting, yes.
So that's going to be a... Where'd that stealth attack thing go? There you go. Oh, that's weak. And plus 44 is 54... 64, 74 damage.
Yep. That's upset her.
And then I will bonus action to hide and move around a little bit. Be one with the trees.
Yep. And that brings us to Umber.
I'm going to cast Bless on my friend up in the front. They're hiding. Actually,
Which one?
how many can I? What?
Which one?
Fuck is Dan's character name?
It's Chloe. Right, okay, cool.
I'm on the left.
Yeah,
I'm like back on the trees. I'm not actually very close to anyone.
sorry, I'm just gonna cast Bless on Chloe.
Okay. And what's the range on Bless? Range. Sorry, duration on Bless.
Duration? Okay.
Yeah, my brain went there. I'm just checking that you still got Bless on you.
Because I'm attempting to stay about 100 feet away from
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's fine. You
Concentration for a minute.
For a minute, right? Okay, that's cool. Yep. So that Umbra, are you following that with maneuvering your spiritual weapon that you still have summoned?
No, dismiss it.
You're going to dismiss it. Okay, cool. And that leads us to Gloria. Gloria. That's all I can hear. Make your move, honey. Make your move. Actually, yeah, this is good. Take a minute to make your move. I'm liking this.
Sorry, I'm just.
No, I'm liking
something.
Yeah.
I attempt to find the image that I'm looking for.
Well, on the plus side, guys, I do know exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Good. I understand
that
that.
Sucks.
What sucks? Your
I
spells?
really want to cast this spell, but the area is just way too big. It would encompass us as well.
No, none of you are within melee range. Just place it behind them.
Ah, but what about the people we need to assist?
Oh, fuck
They're
them.
in the melee.
Kill them. Kill them all. They're cunts.
Wait, what sort of a character are you again? You're a druid, right?
I'm
You don't have something like sculpt spells then?
She is dangerous, but she's not that big. This is the sorceress that is currently floating.
Okay, then,
Yeah, do it. Do it, go for it. Let's see what the consequences are.
Let's just say
Okay,
that the
fine.
pitch... Right, okay, so just to give you an idea, the pitched battle is right to left, okay? So on your left are the allies, on your right are the enemies. If you were to cast it here, you might attract the attention of a couple more undeads, but other than that, you should be alright.
Okay, fine. So like, she raises her staff and her hand in the air and starts like making a circling motion as she starts uttering a little like incantation.
Yep.
And she casts Storm of Vengeance.
Storm of Vengeance. Can you give me a brief...
A churning storm cloud forms centered on a point you can see and spreading it into a radius of 360 feet. Lightning flashes in the area, thunder booms, and strong winds roar. Each creature under the cloud, when it appears, must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d6 thunder damage and becomes deafened for 5 minutes. And then each round, something like round 2, something different happens. Round 3, something different happens. Round 4.
what
and
happens
then
on a successful save?
It'll be a safe based on spellcasting DC, won't it? So for you, that would be...
No, I've made the save. He said a Constitution.
Yeah, Constitution 19.
Yeah, 19. That's the DC I thought it would
What
be.
happens if they make the successful save?
It doesn't say.
So on a successful save, nothing happens, then we assume.
Yeah, I think the storm just... Like, I don't think you get, like, the immediate effect, but the storm still rages and the after effects each round still happen.
Okay, beautiful. Roll for damage, please.
What's the spell called?
Storm of Vengeance.
Roll for damage, please.
That's 10.
Okay. The undead at the far left, who is another one of these sort of almost black monsters that is half shadow and half being, takes... sort of shrugs it off completely. The smaller zombie in the front looks very beaten up. The slightly larger zombie to the right of that, E2, is upset, and the one at the far right is very, very hurt.
And B?
Ignored all. That was the successful save.
Oh, right, okay.
So as far as I could tell, that means that nothing happens.
Yeah, it's the like every round, like an effect will happen, but it will affect. I guess just the people. I mean, it doesn't say. I guess it just affects the people in the area.
Okay.
Yeah, you made a
Yep.
big old cloud that just hangs out, and anything that's standing under the cloud gets fucked up by it.
Yep, okay,
Yeah.
and that leads us to Elrond. At this point, you can hear some strange, almost barking noises of undeads in the distance. Who have been...
We'll have more company soon.
Yes, you will.
For the time being. Let's see if this works. Elrond sort of channels a lot of magic through himself. The next spell he casts will be over-channeled.
Yep.
And Elrond has always wanted to do this for a very long time, but has rarely found a target suitable for this. Elrond is going to cast a over-channeled Disintegrate on the Sorcerer.
Okay. Give me the...
Dex 19 save.
Okay. That is a 24.
Okay, no damage, damn it.
No damage! Sorry.
This poor old man has waited 100 years to cast that spell.
I'm not going to lie, I've rolled 3 20s in a row on her. I'm quite pleased. Yeah,
because if you failed that save, it would be an automatic 100 damage.
Awesome.
Automatic 100 force damage.
Let me roll again. That's
You really want her to...
19?
Does it have to exceed it or just match the save DC?
Match.
Okay, then you would have just barely survived it then.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that...
Yeah, that would have been an
conclude your
automatic
turn,
100 if it
Alan?
hit because it's over-channeled.
Ah, okay. Does that conclude your turn?
Yeah, that's all I can do. Damn it!
Okay. I'm sorry.
I thought it because it was a fucking spellcaster and the low dex would have done it, but
No, unfortunately, she's lacking in most of her spellcasting stats.
Really?
Yeah, you could have given her an intellect save and she would have failed it miserably. I know. It's what you get for randomizing stats.
Oh my god,
yeah,
okay.
apologies. I needed to roll her in a hurry. You found her only save she's good at. But anyway, that brings us to...
I can't believe
that
it.
brings us to our nasty, violent assassin, Chloe Grace the Southern Belle.
Ooh, I'm gonna shoot that bitch with my bow again.
Yeah, you do that.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Excellent.
Again, I'm assuming this is of a magical nature, yes? So
Yeah.
that is no resistance. Cool.
Ooh. 58 damage.
Oof! Ow. Yeah.
And sneak behind some more trees and hide.
Okay, your elven friend is going to attempt the same. Dealing... Oh shit, she's hit a tree. Yep, never mind. How are you rolling such high hit numbers? Yep, she's fine.
Two hit or dice?
Sorry?
My 2 hits
Yeah,
or
you got
my
two hits.
damage rolls? I roll everything at advantage because I'm stealthing.
I see. Okay, yeah, the ranger's not so strong at that. Yeah, and that leads us to Umbra.
Where is this sorcerer hitting?
20 foot above the ground and 30 foot in front of your face.
20 foot above the ground. Okay. It's only 30 feet away from me. And let's see. She's not gonna like what I'm gonna do to her, that's for sure. Where is the spell I'm looking for? The fuck? Game, I have Guiding Bolt. Where the fuck is it? There's one. We're casting a big boy one on her. I just gotta find the one that I'm looking for. She's just... Can I hope to God I don't miss with this? I'm gonna Guiding Bolt her.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of Christ, don't miss. Oh my God. That's a 13?
Nah. That ain't happening, I'm afraid.
That goes my whatchamacallit, 8th level spell slot.
Oh,
Oh my god.
you're on a 13 to hit.
Oh no.
That's yeah. And the saddest thing is, I thought that her armor class was going to be her downfall. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if
Turns
I
out
roll
this-
like a dog shit,
Turns
You need
out
Josh's
this
t-shirt.
spellcaster-
She's got
turns out this
14 AC.
spellcaster- 'cause-
turns out I have a pea shooter.
Yeah, and it turns out this spellcaster not only has reasonable armor, but also has fucking high dex.
She's got a 14 armor class, by the way, with high dex.
Ah, that fucking hurts so much. I would have owned her.
Armor class.
Huh? 14.
I missed it by one. Oh my
14?
god.
14.
Oh, I don't even need to roll to hit. I've got a plus 14 to hit.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I have bless on me. I
You
hit
do
her.
have bless. Okay, yes. Use your bless. Hit the bitch.
It doesn't matter what I roll. I'm blessed. I hit her because
Yeah.
it's only a one I need.
Okay. What do you hit
All
her
right.
with?
Oh, a guiding bolt. She's not gonna like this shit. Let's throw 11 d6s at her. I roll a lot of ones.
What damage type
Take
is this?
31 radiant damage.
Radiant damage. I thought it was fire. How upsetting for her. Okay.
And the next person to attack her has advantage.
Yeah, she is ouchied. She's very ouchied. At this point, I think it's fair to say that she's probably failed her Constitution saving throw. Yes, she has descended to the ground.
There's no saving throw for her either.
She's concentration.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She has failed her concentration miserably and fallen to the ground. In a ball
Oh,
of
she's
upsetted
passed my
fire.
concentration checks.
Yeah, she's passed everyone so far, but she's failed that one. So that leads us to the great Gloria.
So like the like storm above them like starts to swirl, and then like acidic rain starts pouring out onto all of them, and they take 1d6 damage or acid damage.
Again, this is the save. Yes. What is the save?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think it just happens.
Okay.
It's only 3 damage anyways.
Yeah, she
What,
is.
round 2 year cloud? Yeah, that just happens.
Yep, she is looking very, very hurt. As for the others, the wraith-like creature on the left-hand side is unfazed. I'm assuming half of one is 0. And the zombie in the center is, you say 3 damage. Looking very close to death.
Acidic damage, to be specific.
The large zombie E2 is fairly unfazed, and the zombie at the back right is hurting a lot.
Okay, cool.
At this point, 2 more undeads sort of saunter into range with their epic 15 movement speed. It's a painful process, but they're somewhat in range now. And that brings us to our... Sorry,
No,
carry on. Oh, sorry, that was only
no.
the beginning of your cloud, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then I cast lightning bolt. That's a straight line, so I'll like I want to move like in front of one,
Yeah.
in front of Umbra. And so like I'll cast it to hit E4 and B.
This is number 3. E4 and B. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a roll to hit, or is that a...
It's a Dex 19, so if you pass it, you'll only do half damage.
Okay, yep, that's a pass. For one, and a fail for the other. Yep.
That's 37 damage overall.
Okay, the large-looking zombie at the front is looking very pained. Just bear with me a second. And what was the damage, sorry? 37, right?
37?
37 or 27? 37.
37.
That's,
You can make it 47 if you want.
That's 19.
67 it is.
77, you said it, I heard it.
Okay.
83.
This sorcerer with a smouldering hole in her right-hand shoulder is sort of knelt upon the ground. Is that the end of your turn? Your microphone is not making noises. Is that the end of your turn? Got nothing.
It is, yeah.
There we go. Thank you. Right. Okay. At this point, that brings us to our wondrous sorcerer, who is looking nearly dead, and she ain't feeling this shit anymore, in the slightest. So she is going to cast. She ain't gonna cast shit. She is going to use her item to enter the astral plane, where she will hide. Because she ain't feeling this fight in the slightest. And that brings us to Elrond.
Okay.
I really hope Elrond has a spell to go into another plane.
Problem is, he'd need to know which plane she went to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't just freely walk between every plane.
That sounds like a you problem.
I know. You see, I wish I had a quantum planeswalk. You know, where I could, much like quantum physics, just reach out into all planes and find the direct path to my target.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I do not work like apparently photosynthesis does. So instead, what I shall do is do something fiery rather than something light-based, and I shall cast. So, what's the sort of Okay, so I need to phrase this carefully. Between E4 and E2, if you consider it as two vectors, not like the direct point-to-point distance, but say distance along east-west and then distance offset from that north-south. The north-south bit, what's the sort of gap
The
between
E2
that?
is 3 foot behind and 7 foot to the right of E4.
3 foot behind, right? Okay. Unfortunately, how beat up is E4 looking right now?
E4 hurt.
Yes. Hurt. Okay, then how about I'm going to cast a wall of fire intersecting between E3 and E2 in a line across there,
What's the
which will cut 1, 5, and 6 off and directly on top of E3 and 2.
damage? And save.
Okay, so the wall of fire will last up to a minute.
Yep.
For as long as concentration lasts.
Okay.
Each creature within its area must take a dex saving throw. On a failed save, it's 5d8 fire, half as much on successful.
Okay, 5. Roll your damage, please.
The damage is 32, and the spell has more effects than just that, but I'll let you resolve that.
Okay, E3 looks fairly unfazed. That is
Okay.
8 damage.
What about E2?
E2 is dead as fuck.
Okay.
On
One side of the wall, selected by you when you cast a spell, it deals 5d8 fire damage to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of that side or
That is
inside the
all
wall.
3 of those enemies.
And that's the ones behind?
E1, 5, and 6.
Yeah. 5d8 fire damage to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of that side. So, yeah, I'll just do it on that side as well anyway. Why not?
Okay. Yep,
So,
damage.
they don't take damage yet. It's only at the end of their turn. Or when they pass through the wall.
Okay, their turn ended before you started yours.
Yeah, so
Okay,
their next turn,
Yeah, cool.
if they
Gotcha.
pass through that wall, they're fucked. If they end on that turn, they're fucked.
Okay, Chloe Grace.
It's only within 10 feet though.
That leads us to you.
I'm shooting E3.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That's a 15 to hit.
That doesn't hit. Sorry.
Oh, the legendary Chloe Grace finally missed.
Did you hit a 1?
You have bless on you.
Oh, did I? What's the
You
plus
have
for
been
bless?
blessed.
D4.
It's fine. Just, yes, it hits. You're one
Excellent.
shot. There we go.
Well, I rolled a 6 on that one, but it was sharpshooter, so I functionally rolled a 1.
Mm.
So that's a...
Can he do enough damage to one-shot it again?
22 plus 38 is 60.
Bye. Your little friend crumbles to the dust. E3 is murdered. Your revenant. Right now you have a large-looking sort of ogreish zombie in front of you, and over to the right you have two of these mysterious-looking black shadowy creatures, and something that you don't really recognize. It's a shade, if you like, of some sort. What appears to be controlling these undead has finally made an appearance at the very back.
Dun dun dun.
A mage in robes has now wandered inwards, ever so slightly, trying to get a look at the people attacking, and that leads us to Umbra Tinklesparks.
Oh, Umbra Tinklesparks really doesn't know how to do anything fun and exciting.
You can just bash a bitch if you like.
Yeah.
It's fair to say you're fairly close to the end of battle. I will.
I'm gonna slap motherfuckers. Let's just run up and beat the shit out of what number is this guy?
4?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
See if you can pull a 7 damage out of your bag.
Awesome. That's a 12 to hit.
Amazingly, that does hit.
Does it fucking really?
Somehow, that actually does hit. That is the AC, yes.
Holy shit.
Oh, actually, no, the AC is way lower than that. Never mind. I just realized. Yeah.
Okay, well, I did 9 damage.
He falls on the floor, dead. He was wounded somewhat.
And I'm gonna stuff a fucking pamphlet in his mouth.
Beautiful, beautiful. He crumples to a pile of broken bones and pamphlet on the floor.
Vote for Pharasma.
Our elven friend who was with Chloe is firing an arrow off at this necromancer in the background, dealing some damage, maybe. Yeah, that is dealing 14 damage. He looks pissed.
That's cute.
Isn't it just? And that brings us to Gloria. Gloria.
So the storm above
Storm
swells again.
raged on. Carry on.
And lightning bolt strike down at all the enemies.
Yep.
That's a 10d6.
Jesus Christ. All right.
That's 32 damage to each of them.
What's the dex save?
Or half with the dex save.
What's the DC for the dex save?
It is it just says a dex saving throw, so I guess it's the same as it was before.
19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your saving throw is always the same.
Okay.
Proficiency plus spellcasting modifier plus 8.
Front two undead seem fairly unfazed.
So they only take 16.
Actually, they take 8, but yes, I feel you. The E6 is a sort of standard-looking. Sorry, is a shade of some sort, and also appears relatively unfazed. The necromancer, however, in the background, looks like he might fall on the floor if you blow some wind at him. And yeah, carry on.
Well, lucky for him, the forecast is hail snakes. So. And then I am gonna cast. I'm gonna walk up to Umbra, so like I'm facing them like diagonally.
Oh, sorry, got the wrong thing. Yep.
Yeah. And then I cast Tsunami on them.
Jesus. All right. Well,
So like I like gradually like go like that, like raising water up.
Yep.
And then like crash it down on.
Roll to hit.
I don't. That's
Or what's the save, sorry?
It's a strength saving throw.
A strength saving throw?
It is.
Okay.
Because you're getting hit with the, like, front force.
That is a fail. A fail. A thrumming success. And a fail. So the front two, roll for damage, please.
It's 26.
Okay, the front two again look slightly unbothered, despite failing their saves. They take... Sorry, how much damage was it?
26.
13. The shade-looking creature, slightly behind that, appears to be unfazed. The necromancer has fallen on the floor dead. The mage at the back was not prepared to make a strength save of any sort, and is therefore pummeled to the ground. At this point, your little dwarven friends are charging forth into the battle. Your barbarian is swinging hammers. It's fair to say
Hopefully not through the wall of fire.
no, they're just running around creating havoc. And that
Excellent.
brings us back to Chloe Grace.
Ooh, so what's that big spooky dude, the Wraith or whatever you were calling him?
Yeah, you have a
fuck that guy.
shade at the back. This is E6, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
That's a
Wow. Okay, that's pretty good.
56 damage.
Have you hit an enemy without killing them yet? That is
Don't be silly.
that is another murdered enemy. Drastically.
That is our only damage.
No, that's not true.
In everything.
It's they're fairly magic resistant undead mobs. That's the only problem you're having. And I'm assuming you're hiding away.
Oh yeah. Tree to tree, baby.
At this point, Wolfgar is swinging his hammer. The dwarf is raising his battle axe. Let's roll to hit. Wow, that's a 1. And that is a... Okay, Wolfgar smacks the front enemy. That is... Whew! I did some damage! That is a very dead revenant. And that leaves our final undead standing strong while Umbra looks him down in the eye.
And runs up to smack him in the face.
Okay, probably the most effective way of attacking him. Yep. What type of mace are you wielding, my friend?
A +1.
That is a magical weapon, correct?
Yes.
Okay, 15 hits. Roll for damage.
He will take 8 damage, and then I will divine strike him. Or could you roll the dice game? What the fuck is this? I don't know why there's a D4 there. He takes another 12, so he takes 20 total damage.
Okay, he is on his last legs. And that does that conclude your turn?
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna waste a spell slot to kill him.
Okay, and that leads us to Gloria. Is your storm rage
okay. Yeah, unfortunately it does, and it kind of also hits Umbra as well.
That's fine.
It's okay. I deserve it.
So like the storm shifts again, and out hailstones just come like plummeting down, and that's 2d6.
Do I have a save
What's the
on
damaging type? Does it say?
What?
Is it bludgeoning or cold damage? Do you know?
I mean, it doesn't do much anyways. It's bludgeoning damage.
In that case, your revenant is dead. Assuming you rolled higher than a 2 for damage.
I rolled a 4.
You killed it. So yeah, that is the end of your enemies.
Well, as that one, like before any rocks hit Umbra, as that one hits that guy, I lose concentration.
Isn't it at the end of my turn I take the damage?
No, that's what we've been doing on his turn. But anyway, I wouldn't worry too much about it. The undead have been vanquished.
We'll be okay taking 4 damage.
So, as the last undead falls, Lord Daggold Neverember approaches you.
Some name.
I didn't write it. He approaches you, and he looks worn and tired and sad. He's lost his people today. He is, however, incredibly grateful. He looks to Umbra, you were at the front, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
He looks to Umbra and he says, thank you so much for getting out of that tight spot. I don't know where that sorcerer went, but she's been pursuing us for days. The destruction she raised to the walls was quite something. I believe they called her Salawa. She's one of Vala's lieutenants, and there's an army encamped within Neverwinter now. Mighty undead monsters and dark wizards alike. I would reward you, adventurers, but as you see, I have nothing but what I carry on me. Perhaps in time, I would be able to show you my true gratitude. But for now, would you kindly show me, Taluskan? We must seek to retake Neverwinter.
Have you lost anyone of great importance, by chance?
Every member of my town was of great importance to me.
Okay, not the question I'm asking, but okay, whatever.
We lost everyone from our head priest to our finest baker, from our blacksmith to a mother of 12.
What about people that are able to
What about someone I can cast True Resurrection on?
What about the people that we can assist us within our combat to retake Neverwinter, just say, sorry.
I could never pick one member. I have my town to resurrect, but perhaps if we can retake the town, priests, we have many priests of our own. Perhaps if you could help bringing back one of our priests, perhaps in time we may be able to restore some of the townspeople to the town. But
you can bring back every single one of them.
Am I under the impression that you cannot do this, however, from 3.5 miles away? Amber.
You know, it's kind of weird how anyone dies in this world.
You can't. You can't resurrect somebody 3.5 miles away.
When we fix it. No, I have to touch them.
Yes.
When we fix it, I mean.
So perhaps if you wonderful adventurers are with us when we attempt to retake Neverwinter in the future, then I will take you up on that offer, you wondrous adventurer. Can I take your name?
It's Umbra. Umbra Tinklesparks.
It's a what with a who?
Umbra Tinklesparks. Here's a pamphlet.
And you? And he points to Elvin.
For Pharasma.
My name, sir, is Elrin.
I think I've heard of some of your work, a wizard, right?
Yes, I've been to quite a many places and done quite many things. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if you've heard my name before, especially someone with a position of your own.
Yeah, we hear about a few stories. And what about? Are you still floating, Gloria?
No.
Okay. And what about you? And he gestures to you.
My name's Gloria.
I'm glad to meet your acquaintance. Do you
that
think we
makes
could?
One of us.
Savage. Do you think we could make our way to Luskan?
How many people are there right now?
31.
31. Right. So I do not believe I would be able to teleport at a higher level to teleport more people. I'm pretty sure.
The Elven Maiden speaks up and says, it's a mere 15-minute walk. If you can manage it, Dagon.
Very well. We can take the walk.
I mean, we don't know if Elrond can take this walk. He's just been through a lot of fights.
I may need to rest for a few minutes along the way, but...
So it's...
my bow arm's pretty tired from pumping out all that damage.
So the barbarian Wolfgar turns to you and says, perhaps I was harsh in my words earlier. you do seem to take up the true cause, but perhaps I understand that it is only the true cause that is of the moment, as opposed to pursuing danger. Perhaps pursuing danger is a bit much for people who fight as often as you do. I'm honored to have fought alongside you, but I must return to
currently
Mithril
cutting
Hall.
ears off of every creature we've slain.
Yeah, I mean, I've assumed you're still stealthy, so I've sort of... Nobody's seen you as yet, unless you are coming up to say hi. He says, I must head back to Mithril Hall, and he sort of pops his warhammer on his back, and he begins to wave.
Before he walks off, I'm gonna grab him.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put a pamphlet in his hand and be like, "Stop being a dick."
I'll work on that, young one. And he pops his pops his arm up in the sky in salute, and then begins to sprint off into the distance.
Go for Asmo.
And the rest of you quietly and slowly make your way back to Luskan. And we will be leaving it there. Just a short one today. Thank you very much for coming and playing along. And
Just
we
want
will
you to
see
know.
a little more of these
how-
characters in the future. Go on, man.
Just want you to know how powerful my fucking level 9 spell is. It may take fucking 2 months for me to resurrect the whole town, but I can resurrect that whole fucking town.
How does anyone die in this world?
You see, here's the problem with resurrecting that much. It's very expensive.
Yeah,
If you
costs
can
a
resurrect
lot
the
of
town, but
money.
it would take a lot of the Welsh to do.
25,000 gold each.
Gold's not exactly a problem for Degold Never.
Exactly, we're
If
on the
you
top
can
of the
retake the
leaderboard.
town,
We're rich.
Mm-mm.
Well,
I meant for the person he offered to assist.
Hmm.
Yeah.
oh my god, he's gonna provide the money to resurrect this whole
Well, at
fucking
least a few
town. It's
people, you
amazing.
know. If
Yeah,
if
it's a
Neverwinter
lot
gets
of diamonds,
retaken,
but I'm sure he can afford
As
it.
long
it's
as
not
the
diamonds
baker's
for
first.
true resurrection.
We need
it's
fresh
a
bread.
straight 25,000 gold, I believe.
Oh, is it not? I thought it was a
It's
diamond worth
diamonds.
25,000.
It's a diamond and 25,000 gold.
A diamond
No,
is
it's a
worth
diamond worth
25,000.
Yeah, it's a diamond that's worth 25,000 gold.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
So when you look at the material components, if there's a little parentheses next to it, it means that's how much it needs to be worth.
Ah, okay.
I guess it's time to crack.
It doesn't have to be
Neverwinter's Vault.
a single diamond. It just
No.
needs to be diamonds worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A
That makes sense.
total of.
Otherwise, you'd be
25,000
invading the
worth of
UK
diamonds.
for the Queen's scepter.
Yeah, just get fucking crown jewels, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
whatever, Chloe can take her.
That leads us to an MVP shout. Umbra, you first.
Them fucking sneak attack damages.
That is some crazy shit. I can definitely agree with that.
Sneak attack is a fucking good mechanic.
Yeah.
It is.
Chloe?
Rogues are good.
My +3 longbow that literally couldn't miss anything,
Yeah,
even with fucking sharpshooter attack.
It was pretty
Listen,
brutal.
you did miss, but bless is the best.
Gloria? Your MVP for the day?
Me living my best Storm life. That's what.
You enjoyed playing the Storm character.
I
Can
wish
I
I could
give-
levitate more.
Can I
but
be
that was it.
cheeky enough? Can I be cheeky enough to give 2?
Go on then.
The first one is going to be the handbrake in the fucking tavern.
Oh, Wolfgar's handbrake of Treebreaker, yeah.
Yep.
He's going to be
Like,
causing us
that
trouble.
guy was a dick. He deserved it.
Yep.
And the second one is going to be that big bad evil boss sorcerer who happens to be more a fucking
She's got
dex
8.
rogue.
She's got 8 intelligence. She's a sorcerer. She has 20 constitution, 20 charisma.
And-
Sorry, 20 charisma and 18 dex.
Yeah,
after
fucking
stat
18
modifiers.
dex, and I go to fucking
With
disintegrate on
8
it. I
intelligence
can't
and
fucking land
6
it easy.
wisdom?
It's like,
Yeah, she'll be making another appearance. I'm afraid I couldn't let you kill her off. I'm very glad that you couldn't find a way to pursue her. She is one of the lieutenants of Vala, Salawa.
it would have been a bit bullshit if I would have just been like, okay, maximized disintegration, 100 damage. Just
She wouldn't have
instantly
died.
Disintegrates the fucker.
She
Really?
wouldn't have died,
More than
no.
100 HP available?
She had
Okay,
102 at the
better.
time.
Oh.
But I will let you know that
Oh.
Josh's, I think it was Lightning Bolt, dropped her to 1 hit point.
Ah.
1 hit point as she got out.
How much health did she have total?
147, but she had resistances because of the items. Well, not resistance, she has spell turning, which is
What
how
you're
she...
saying, if I
got this.
managed to roll one less one, I might
Really?
be
Yeah, on your bolt, she would have been dead, and I would have had to resurrect her down the line or something. So I was quite glad you didn't. Dan, what are you
You
eating?
resurrected
Is
Shane.
that a pepperami?
Yeah, everyone just gets resurrected.
What are
What?
you eating? I'm really intrigued. Is that a
Pretzel?
pepperami or... Oh, okay. It looks like a wand. That's why I was curious. Well, my personal MVP goes to Chloe Grace's sleight of hand roll.
Oh my god, yeah, that was good.
Where I've never seen anyone roll a 35 for anything. So I was very pleased by that. I know it was a sort of quite a casual one today, but hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of setting as to what's going on in the world for the main campaign. We will pass over the notes to our wonderful Vivian, and soon to Edith Wheezy. 3 E's, don't know.
Please don't ask.
And yeah, it will
Name is Edith
Wheezy. And hopefully that will give us a little bit of context as to what decisions you might wish to make. Is there anything else you guys would like to say, or are we ready to say au revoir?
the best little tiefling cleric ever.
Bye, guys.